Well, it's either pay now or pay later.
A tidal wave of dementia cases headed our way.
There's going to be more and more patients, more and more people suffering from a dementing disorder of some sort.
It is the most expensive disease in the U.S., costing Americans more than $236 billion a year to treat, more than heart disease and cancer.
From the latest research and treatment to resources for patients and caregivers, it's all coming up on Dementia: Finding Peace of Mind.
Dementia affects more than 5.5 million people in the U.S. and tens of thousands of people right here in Nevada, with new cases being diagnosed every day. Good evening and thank you for joining us for Dementia: Finding Peace of Mind, an 8 News Now special report. I'm Christiane Klein.
And I'm Sherry Swensk. Despite those grim numbers, there is hope for those affected, and it's not just for patients. Caregivers and family members face the emotional stress and financial burden of caring for a loved one with dementia without knowing where to turn. Tonight, we'll help you find answers. So what is dementia? Many people have heard of it, but don't know exactly what it is.
Well, dementia is a general term for a decline in mental ability and memory that can affect a person's ability to function in their daily life. But dementia is not a specific disease. There are several disorders that contribute to the development of it. Those include frontotemporal disorders, Lewy body dementia, and Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's is the most common form of dementia. Symptoms usually develop slowly and worsen over time, which often becomes severe enough to interfere with daily tasks, like memory loss, losing the ability to carry on a conversation and respond to their environment.
Now, according to the Alzheimer's Association, 41,000 Alzheimer's patients live right here in Nevada. And unless something is being done to stop it, experts believe as many as 16 million Americans will have Alzheimer's by 2050.
For as much as we know, there is so much we have to learn. Alzheimer's disease is a degenerative disease of the brain that injures and kills brain cells.
And we believe that that's due to a buildup of a protein called amyloid.
The latest research and trials involves getting rid of those amyloid plaques.
So we have studies of drugs that remove amyloid that are being tested on individuals who don't even have any symptoms that are accumulating amyloid, and individuals who are having the very earliest symptoms of the disease.
The hope is to slow, reverse, or cure Alzheimer's. Doctors say the two biggest risk factors are age and genetics, but there are other factors we can control, like being more active.
The other risk factors for Alzheimer's disease is cardiac disease, heart disease, diabetes, perhaps lack of exercise. So these are things that people can do throughout their life to at least reduce the risk that they're going to have Alzheimer's disease.
About 10% of people over the age of 65 have Alzheimer's disease. The longer we live, the more people will be diagnosed.
So if you look at people over the age of 85, probably half the people have Alzheimer's disease. And we know in our community, in Nevada, as well as many places, the fastest growing segment of our population are those over 80.
And this isn't just a disease of the elderly. More young people are also being diagnosed. Approximately 200,000 people under the age of 65 have early onset Alzheimer's disease, with many more diagnosed every year.
Until we have a cure, the numbers of people with the disease is going to continue to accumulate and increase, and we're going to have to deal with it some way as a society.
And we also know that Alzheimer's disease is present years before a patient has symptoms. And much of the latest research focuses on this group, seemingly healthy individuals who also have Alzheimer's.
Christiane, experts are also looking at an intriguing new link between the quality of your sleep and your risk for dementia. There are 4 stages in the sleep cycle. In stage 1, sleep is very light, then progresses to deep sleep in stage 3. After that, there's REM sleep, or rapid eye movement, the dream state, which usually occurs 4 to 5 times over 8 hours as your sleep cycle repeats. In a recent neurology journal study, as the amount of REM sleep declined, the risk of dementia increased. Researchers aren't sure if this means that sleep deprivation can actually cause or contribute to dementia. Still ahead on Dementia: Finding Peace of Mind. Is it dementia or just normal signs of aging? The differences and the signs you and your loved ones should be looking for. Plus, dementia from long distance. a daughter's struggle to help care for her mom more than 1,100 miles away. Welcome back. Alzheimer's and other dementias are not a normal part of aging. You can tell the difference between age-associated memory impairment and dementia in a number of ways. Some normal signs of aging are occasionally having trouble finding a word. With dementia, you may pause frequently or have difficulty having conversations. And with normal aging, you may worry about making a mistake or making an occasional bad decision. In dementia, your relatives may be afraid for your lack of memory about important dates or not knowing people, and you are not.
Well, caring for those with dementia is on its way to becoming a $1 trillion problem. In 2016, the cost of caring for Alzheimer's and other dementias was $236 billion. $177 million of that was Medicaid funding for Alzheimer's. Now, experts believe this number will increase to $1.1 trillion by mid-century. And these numbers don't include the caregivers, the friends and family, the thousands of hours every year, and the emotional and financial toll that can take. Now, challenges associated with dementia are often extended onto caregivers and family members. But technology can help, especially for loved ones providing care from long distances. Reporter Katie Bora shares a very personal story about one mother and daughter's struggle.
Where's Katie? Where's Andy? Come here.
Maybe it's because they've been there since the very beginning, or the fact that life depended on them providing for you, protecting you. But when the tables turn and suddenly parents rely on you,
I have a problem. Things aren't working because I'm getting in the way. I recognize that, and I've just been stalling on it for a very long time.
nothing prepares you for dementia. I know because the woman who fell out of the chair is my mom, and 29 years ago, this little girl was me.
Show me with your
left hand, how you would use those.
I like to use them.
10 months after her retirement, my mother Carol was diagnosed with Lewy body dementia, a devastating diagnosis to accept, especially from long distance.
Okay, is there a temperature on it? Does it tell you what you turned the temperature to? What does the temperature say on it?
The dementia suddenly stealing her words and train of thought, like helplessly watching a thief rob your own family, slowly not remembering how to do things she's done her whole life. The worst symptom, her hallucinations. A sign when she began obsessively watching for men in trees in her backyard. Try telling someone with dementia they're not there.
No one's trying to hurt you. You're not fighting for your life. You're okay.
Or everything's going to be okay through a phone call or camera. The confusion and even her posture, such a contrast from the vibrant woman I grew up with.
It's hard being in my kitchen 1,200 miles away, not feeling like you can do anything. I spend the entire day worried about her. What is she doing? Did she eat today?
The distance, most caregivers will admit, can turn into frustration.
Mom, can you hear me?
Show mommy kissy.
It's
Good
fear
girl.
that the woman who has already begun calling me Mom
Thank you, Katie.
Can you say, I love you?
eventually won't know, just by a kiss, how much I care. In Las Vegas, Katie Bower, 8 News Now.
And Katie filed that story before ultimately choosing to move closer to her mom, who's been receiving treatment at a memory care facility. Now, earlier this year, her mother's videos and hallucinations caught the attention of neurologists at the Lou Ruvo Center here in Las Vegas. Our researchers plan to use some of those videos in their training. Sherry.
As we just saw, caregiving can be challenging and heartbreaking, a job often taken on by one family member who steps up and takes charge. And whether it's from a distance or in their own home, the toll it takes is the same. But there is help, and the key is asking for it.
Usually when they call us, Sherry, they are stressed beyond their capabilities. You feel like you're all alone, so that's one of the biggest challenges that our caregivers have.
Irma Prettenhofer is a family care consultant with the Alzheimer's Association. She helps families navigate the emotional, often chaotic and stressful journey of caring for a loved one with dementia.
Sometimes the daughter will be told by the mom, I don't know who you are. What are you doing in my home? And that's very painful. It's very important that they know the course of the disease and what to expect at all the different stages of the disease so they can be prepared. Because a lot of times it's something as simple as you need to take a break, to it's not your mom, it's the disease.
Irma says it's important to create a care plan that includes support for the caregiver and recommends consulting an elder law attorney right away to make a financial plan of how the person will be cared for.
Planning is very important, Sherry, because I think when you plan, the first thing that you give is that person that has a dementia the ability to have their dignity, to have their voice heard. You want to know what they expect, what their limits are, and what they would like out of their life, because people with dementia still have the right to have a productive life.
When private caregiving or a memory care community are not options, loved ones take on full-time caregiving at home, often quitting their jobs, becoming isolated from friends, the community, and even other family members.
The first thing is don't feel guilty about getting help. A lot of these caregivers are also taking care of their children and grandchildren, so they're the sandwich generation. And statistics show that 60% of the caregivers will burn out or die before the person they're taking care of. So our role is to educate the caregiver to get help and get the resources that they need.
Those resources include a 24-hour hotline, help developing a safety plan, finding extra care, and medical resources and support groups for spouses and other caregivers. Now, you can find more on our website for the Alzheimer's Association and other support, lasvegasnow.com.
Well, coming up next, we take a look at clinical trials underway right here in the Valley, including new signs of brain damage in the blood of professional combat fighters.
It sucks when you get home and you're like, where's my phone?
That's still ahead on Dementia, Finding Peace of Mind.
I know. I don't want to cut.
I don't either. So
Doug,
what's going on, Doug?
What do you think?
$30.
Do you want to cut this touch screen thing? I mean, those are it's good, but it's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not imperative. I mean, those are good ideas, but I don't know.
Kill it then.
Yeah, I'd say kill
and it's also dangerous. Kill the touch. The touch screen is the most dangerous part of our show.
Yeah, we could eat up. We could burn a lot more time up there if we have technical problems. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye, technology. Well, here in Las Vegas, neurologists are conducting clinical trials to test new ways of treating brain disorders. Right now, there are 19 clinical trials underway at the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health. And Katie Boer has details on one trial making new headway.
Christiane, it's the Professional Fighters Brain Health Study. And earlier this summer, researchers released new findings to the American Academy of Neurology. It shows possible indicators for brain damage in the blood of professional fighters. The study compares the brain health of fighters and non-fighters, including the Mazzani siblings.
For former EFC champion Dave the Pain Train and UFC fighter Gina Danger, boxing hits real close to home.
They like bullied me.
I bullied her like a brother would do, right?
In life, the Mazzanis are linked by blood, brother and sister. On the mat, they are a family of fighters.
No matter what we're doing, we're always very competitive.
Now based in Las Vegas, the siblings are fighting for championships, but deep down always fighting for each other. The Mazzanis aren't just protective sparring partners.
It's all up here. It's all in your head.
They're proactive.
I really think the mental part is a huge part of it. The physical part's the fun part.
Both know their future in the ring comes with an inherent risk for brain damage.
I'm under the realization there's stuff after fighting. After I get done fighting, I'm gonna have to live a life.
Which is why they're here, taking part in a brain health study at the Lou Ruvo Center.
It probably is the largest study in the world.
Now neurologists in the study, like Dr. Charles Burnick, have found new indicators in the brain susceptible to injury, something doctors can actually measure in professional fighters.
We're looking at new techniques through blood tests and through different types of imaging in the brain to identify a protein that develops in CTE called tau.
Protein that may be an indicator of future dementia. Tough to stomach for two siblings not scared of anything.
It sucks when you get home and you're like, where's my phone? oh, I left it in the fridge. Like, I've done stuff like that where it's like, oh, where's my keys? Oh, they're in the rice jar? Why? Like, you do weird things and you don't know why.
Neurologists in Las Vegas are trying to find the answer.
Really happy to say that Las Vegas is kind of leading the way now.
And in this octagon, the Mazzatis are hoping the study leads researchers to the ultimate knockout.
When I get finished with this, I want to have a good life. I want to be able to do things still.
Last year, UFC announced a $1 million donation over the course of 5 years to the fighter study, but the study still needs your help. They need volunteers with no record of head trauma to be part of their controlled group. We have more information on the requirements listed on our website. Back to you.
And if you're not ready to take part in a clinical trial, there are other free therapies available right here in the Valley. We'll tell you about those more a little later.
Still ahead on Dementia, Finding Peace of Mind, we take a look at how art and music could help Alzheimer's patients recall memories. And also a dementia village where all the citizens are also the patients. I just get rid of?
Okay, I can hear it open again. I thought I lost my IFB. That would have been super duper bad. Like really super bad.
Super bad. This tribute, Remember Love, was written by a local singer-songwriter, Chadwick Johnson, and Kalani Kwewo, who were moved by the power of how music and song can stir memories in people living with dementia and Alzheimer's. Can you unlock the memories through music? Dan Cohen, a New York social worker, is using music to help unlock Alzheimer's patients' memories. In 2008, he started handing out iPods to nursing home patients so they could have personalized music. In the Music and Memory program, family and friends create the playlist. Cohen says the headphones help eliminate distractions. Here in Nevada, the Lou Ruvo Center is offering free music and art therapy programs for seniors living with or without dementia. Those programs can benefit patients and caregivers by providing opportunities for memory recall, decreasing stress, anxiety, and depression, improving communication skills, helping with movement coordination, and improving social and emotional interactions between patients and their caregivers.
Something that you might not have heard of, a dementia village. Now, some describe this small Dutch town outside of Amsterdam as a real-life version of the Truman Show. More than 100 residents live unaware that their community is actually a nursing home for people with severe dementia. This village opened in 2007. And while we don't have our own dementia village here in Las Vegas, Dementia Friendly Nevada is working to support and serve those living with dementia and their family. And before we leave you tonight, we want to let you know a few more resources here in Nevada that are available for patients and caregivers. You can find out all that information on our website, lasvegasnow.com.
We thank you for joining us tonight.